Hey, everybody. I am back, and we have got some more stuff to look at because, as I've said, there are times where things really seem to accelerate. A whole bunch of stuff is happening at the same time in Daisyland. And right now we have, um, she's on a roll. She's on a jag here where it's all about getting her kids back. She's going to get those kids back, come hell or high water, everybody. It's going to happen. And so we've got that. Okay. And then she's also suing LAPD, uh, well, the West Los Angeles division, the one that I showed you out there. They're in big trouble. And Starbucks, because she wasn't really threatening the worker when she yelled and demanded and flung her skateboard around in an aggressive way. That was just, she was all playing. So they're going to have to be sued now for that. So what this is going to be like a, excuse me, a two-part thing. We're going to listen to a couple minutes of this kind of disturbing uh, statement here about her commitment to getting her kids back. And then we have some statements, a couple of statements from her middle child, her youngest son, Chris, who has kind of begun to emerge and has wanted to speak about his mother and clear things up on his end, which is very interesting. I actually noticed he posted a little bit of a comment on the Soft White Underbelly channel, and now he's directly under his mother's videos. I think he's about 15 now. So let's go ahead and start with her, and we can see. Look at that face that she's got. Look at that. Look at that look. It's just disapproving, challenging. See, her chin's up a little bit, like she's superior. It's all very creepy. This is creepy. Many of her videos are. The stuff where she's talking to Putin, when she does her fake conversations with people, like her mother and well, of all things, Putin and whoever else she does. It's very weird, strange. And her repetitive behavior. I notice she plays the same songs over and over again when she has her little background music. She gets very hooked into ideas and repeats these. She stays in a little tight little fishbowl. Never breaks out of it. It's always very predictable. And so let's go ahead and let's hear what she has to say today.
Dear to those who make decisions for my life and for the life of my children. I don't believe that anyone should be making decisions for my children. And
So when you've got underage kids, who does make the decisions? You? Nobody?
I'm feeling sad and scared because you guys are with my kids, and people who are not with my kids, you guys are making decisions for my kids. And the caregivers of my children, my own mother, who's been turning on me for my whole life, I'm not going to turn on her. I'm not going to enemy image her, although she enemy images me to my children. I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is I'm going to get my kids back. I'm going to dissolve the adoption.
Now, how would you do that? How many dozens and dozens of felony arrests, restraining orders from, I think, just about everybody in her family, probably everybody, from her own children? How is this going to happen?
Just I'm going to come down hard.
She's going to come down hard. She's going to come down hard. What's left? What is left to work with? How could you possibly enter a courtroom with any kind of legitimate defense?
One of the most powerful attorneys in Beverly.
Look at that. Look at that look on her face. Look at the look on her face, folks. Boy, that's a look like you're gonna get yours. Boy, look at that. She's relishing the idea of retribution. That look.
My good friend for 15 years, Steve Aronoff. And we're going to come down hard. We're going to dissolve the adoption, get my kids back.
So, I mean, let's just think of this purely on a practical level. She will never work. She will never hold a job. She's got this tiny little, just the food allowance, EBT card, $220 a month. Okay. So I don't even know if she's cracking $500 a month with all of her stuff together. She's in a homeless, looks like a studio, probably. It's probably a little studio apartment. She's going to put 4 people in there, like kids that need medical care and clothing and supplies and how are they going to get anywhere? I guess what she's going to do is she's going to call on her tribe to come in rotation, with vans, cars, get the kids to school and everything. This is all how it's going to go down, I guess, is her big fantasy that it's just co-parenting. Let somebody else do it, basically. Let somebody else come with the car and pay for the food.
And then we're going to sue the bejeebers out of Orange County.
Do they ever put that? Wouldn't that be funny if they put that like as part of a report in a newspaper or something? She sued the bejeebers out of so and so. Again, could she possibly even handle what she would win? She's got no resources.
LA County, Santa Monica, anywhere where I've been arrested, have had any of my needs withheld, including connection with my kids. We're going to sue them, and guess what? I am not going to benefit. Not even.
All right, you know what? Your kids were taken away because none of their needs were met. So what are you talking about yourself? Not only were their needs not met, they were abused and neglected and abandoned so you could go hook up with a guy for money. What are you talking about? Your needs have been denied. See, oh my God, this is where it's just so fascinating. I'm sure there's other people out there on YouTube that are this self-absorbed, but this really, really hits pretty high on the meter.
And 1 penny is going to go to me.
Yeah, right.
I'm going to pay my attorney's fees.
Yeah. She's not going to take a penny of it. That's right.
Whatever I get, whatever proceeds. But that's it. My attorney will get paid. And
that weird, what a creepy. That smile, her eyes go up like, whoa, hey, everybody, I got a plan. This is what's going to happen. Weird.
I will form a nonprofit. And all of the billions
no, wait a minute. Don't you remember last summer they were forming a nonprofit? We already went through that stage. Remember when John was busy tickety typing, and she had her little Barbie that she was playing with as they were, putting together all the paragraphs of stuff on that web page. The Barbie that had the butt cheeks cut out of it, and she was playing with it. We already went through all that, and we've went through the Healing Arts Dojo many times. I guess it still hangs, still hanging out there like this vague Christmas ornament in the ether. It dangles somewhere, but we can't quite grab it. They're more concepts than realities
that we get is going to go into an account for my nonprofit. Just kidding. We're all going to be self-governing. And the nonprofit, I'm going to have the final say because I'm Daisy the Venice Healer, but it's going to be run.
Okay, that's it. Yeah, she's going to have the final say because she's Daisy the Venice Healer. That should be on a t-shirt. I think that'd make a cool slogan.
By those who are doing it because they want to. And a select few, like the lawyer and people who have to be paid, will be paid. And that's what the money will be for, but it will be a space to create fellowships to meet needs so that instead of police officers, caseworkers, judges, enforcers, any type of force, we have, like, let's say there's a panic attack, people who are used to having panic attacks and knowing how to deal with them, they show up. You don't have someone who read about panic attacks and they think they know something and they show up and all they know how to do actually is escalate and make things worse. And that's just one example. Empathy, if someone needs empathy, if someone needs help with addictions, if someone needs help with violence, like maybe when they were children, they experienced a lot of violence, and now they're having trouble with violence with their children. If we neutralize these behaviors and look at them as strategies to meet needs, then we can become creative and conscious, and we can do it better. I am going to sue Santa Monica because they put their hands on me a couple days ago. I'm going to sue the crap out of Santa Monica because one time they arrested me for they've arrested me a lot.
Okay.
They arrested me a lot.
All right. See, notice again, this is one of those things where she started to say something and then she kind of trailed off because it would have been a lie. Not that that stops her from saying things that aren't true, but she was going to say that they arrested her for basically no reason. And then, oh, well, they arrest me a lot. Okay, well, that part's true. Let's see, she kind of drifted away from that.
And some of the things were so stupid, like being topless and doing a speech on my wedding day.
I didn't know she got arrested on her wedding day. That's pretty funny. Well, the thing is, you're not supposed to take your top off. All right, it's a law. I guess there were police out there that's weird. That happened? Okay.
And I could go on. There's just like so many. I'm going to sue them, LA County. You guys all know that we're suing Starbucks. I'm not going to get one penny. I'm not going to benefit. I'm going to pay my $56 a month rent at my government.
Hang on a minute. If she wins this lawsuit, she could buy everything on that wish list, including that $900 aerial yoga setup. I was thinking about that the other day. She had one because you could spot it out on the Venice cam. She set up every day. You could see that thing there, and it was in a video. What happened to it? Was it stolen? All these things just slip out of her hands. This is a $900 piece of equipment. Who bought the first one? She didn't buy it. For some reason, I thought that it was the Super Bruiser hero that may have. I don't know, but somebody ponied up, what, $900? And it's gone. She doesn't even have it. So if she wins this amazing lawsuit, turns everything around, she could pick herself up. And and those silk sheets. She could get those too in the burgundy.
And I'm going to live off $220 general relief and $280 for food until the community decides that I get more. But to me, I'm so.
The community, that's a buzzword for the taxpayers, because that money she just mentioned, the EBT money, the 280 and the 220s general relief, it's all from the yuppies, the horrible, horrible yuppies who are working hard every day, and a chunk of their paycheck is sheared off and given to her, and then she hates money and laughs at the people who are, it all ties into just her general attitude is gimme, gimme, and you're just groveling peasants or whatever, and it's all for her.
Market economy. Economy. I would rather meet my needs in fellowship.
What the hell does that even mean? What, you meet your needs in fellowship? Are we talking about like some sort of communism? Because that was forced on people. And it doesn't work. I mean, it does if you've got an authoritarian government enforcing it, because communism goes against human nature. It doesn't work. It's meet your needs by fellowship. Huh?
What has happened to me? Getting ridden hard, having my children kept away from me.
Ridden hard. She's the victim after abusing her kids. She's the one that's ridden. Just make a note of that. Make a mental note.
Children are lied to. My children are told things like, I am a certain enemy image, and my children are told things like, I'm told that my kids don't want to see me, but my kids are told that if they see me, they're going to get put in a group home. And then they're constantly
under. All right, we're going to hear a little something from her son, which kind of, oh my God, does it imply that Daisy is lying about something? It just couldn't be.
The duress of getting sent away. And it's a nightmare situation that is allowed to exist, because whenever we have industry or government involved, I've found that they turn everyone against each other.
All right, we're going to stop here. You get the idea. We know what the plans are for the next month or so. We know she's going to be keeping busy. This time it's with lawsuits, and she's going to get all of her kids back. They're going to be pulled away from a nice adoptive home, taken away from their grandmother, and deposited right into that tiny little studio apartment. They're all going to have to live on $500 a month with a mother who treated them terribly. It's just that's the end game. And you get to be a high-powered attorney in Beverly Hills because you win cases like that, right? Okay, this is extreme sarcasm. I don't know what this lawyer is going to do. He may be just placating her. It would be interesting to me if he literally filed something and this moved forward in some way. Mm, yeah, it makes me wonder what is going on with that and what his procedure will be. So, anyway, we're going to stop here. And now I'm going to read you some little excerpts. This is from Chris, the middle child. I do believe his father, unalived himself. I guess we have to say things like that. All of her kids have different fathers, and from what I understand, they were all conceived as part of a monetary deal. Like I don't know. I just yeah, I have to dive a little deeper into the idea of like there's men that will pay a woman to have their kids and put them on a high allowance. But I believe that is sort of that was the setup. Anyway, and we know what happened after there. Let's listen to Chris now. Chris in his own words. I'm now reading two statements written by Chris. This is one of her sons, her second born. My grandma has been good to her and has tried to help her, but has not been able to reach her. Ever since living with my grandma, I have thrived and found belonging. I have found community all over and come to Christ. My grandma has been so, so good to me, and I'm so thankful for her. So my mom is not painting her the right picture. But that is because her view is tainted by her own desires, although I do still love her to death and I forgive her and want to eventually see her in the future once I feel ready. But she is not fit to care for us. I'm not gonna out her and say what happened, but as much as I love her, and despite the fact that I do forgive her, I need space and time before I see her again. And Mom, if you're seeing this, I do forgive you and I don't hold what happened against you, but I just need space for now. I will see you in time when I am ready, but now is not that time. If you get the mental help you need and get better, not for me, but for you, then I would love to see you. But if not, then I will need time. But I still love you and care about you despite everything. I pray for you every day, hoping you get the help you need and come to God. But I do hope you at least get help. I love you, Mom. Sincerely, Middle Child, 2010, Anonymous. Mom, I know who you are. I lived with you until I was 8. Don't ever say I can't think for myself. I see for myself when I look at what you do and how you act and what you post. And it's clear you need help. But again, I forgive you for everything and I don't hold it against you. But that doesn't change the fact that you use my name and my image directly. You can't do that. So, Mom, don't ever mention me, my grandma, my brother, or my sister, or my channel ever again. It's not okay. I don't want that. So, never talk about me or anyone else who has to do with my being. And just for the record, I can think for myself. You lied to everybody and said I was autistic and made me have an aide in the classroom. But that didn't stop me. Grandma got the aid removed because I'm just a normal kid. But you lied just so you could have someone take care of me. And ever since I've been thriving. I've had straight A's and I'm going into my freshman year. So all the aid was a setback and I'm not autistic. I can think for myself. So never say I can't and never talk about any of us again. Wow, isn't that wonderfully written? That is very articulate. It's very touching. I mean, there's a lot here. Um, just the fact that he still loves her, still wants a relationship with her. Once she's got to get help. This is stuff we've talked about many, many times. But just to hear it from him, is great. And I also really like the fact that he was kind of on to her with this. Um, she had an aide. She wanted an aide. Claimed he was autistic. Just to use again. Look at what she's doing. She lies. Oh my God! It's it's frustrating just to hear this stuff. I guess having an aide like relieved her of some caretaking responsibilities. I don't know. You can uh, just reread that or whatever, think about it. But I think that's exactly what happened. It's terrible, but sounds like he's doing very good, and the fact that he says he forgives her is pretty. That's a big thing, Daisy. You have more gifts. She has more gifts than she thinks she does, but she throws away the most important ones, doesn't she? And before I wrap this up here, I just want to point out there's two more little short things that I want to say. Daisy, okay, so she made it into housing. Okay, great. All right, she's got her apartment. She got out of the tent. Of course, she kind of had to. She was being like, harangued so much by the people that the enforcers, because you're not supposed to sleep on the beach. She's requesting an IHSS worker. You know what that is? I don't know if you know what that means. It's an in-home support service worker. These are people who they would be, she wouldn't have to pay for it. You don't pay for it. They come, they're paid probably by the government, and they help people who are generally, somewhat incapacitated. They've got mobility issues. Generally, you would have somebody for a senior citizen who can't get around too much. They help you in and out of the car or whatever. It's for people who are, have handicaps and issues with getting around, and she just wants to order one up, on a tray. What? And this is ties into the second thing I want to say is Daisy does not have friends. She has servants. Everybody who thinks they are a friend of Daisy, you are a servant in one capacity or another. The men, the women, everybody. She goes through people. We have seen so many people come in and out of her life, come and go and come and go. And if you are not there as a servant in some capacity, doing something, promoting her, filming her, getting her stuff, buying her stuff, setting her up with stuff, you don't follow protocol, you're not part of the team, you are out, you're done because you are not a friend. You are there to serve her. And how dare she expect these horrible yuppies that she says the taxpayer hard working taxpayers here in LA County to just give her a servant for free to do what does she need an IHSS worker for? Probably she wants somebody to taxi her around. I don't know. I don't know. There's how much is there to do in that little studio apartment? It's just the gall of it. And I just don't think she has. I think she has people who think they are friends and they want to help her. They see something broken, they can glue back together. I think the strongest advocate she has now is Mary. Mary, I don't, she would be dropped if Mary, moved left or right in the wrong way, she'd be dumped. Okay, but she has something to offer Daisy. She is a servant. And this is the way narcissists are. Narcissistic supply. You suck them in, you dump them out when you're done with them. They're not following protocol, they're out. So you can't really be friends with somebody like this. And her rotation of men, same thing. Daisy doesn't have friends. She has servants. That's where I'm going to end today. A lot to take in here. So thanks again for watching and listening, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.